Spondylosis. And it happens to me very often that people come in, and this is basically the story. And if you have had back pain yourself and you're over 40, this is definitely going to be interesting information for you or for other people around you that have back pain. So this is what has been happening so far. You get back pain, you worry about your back pain, and you decide to go to a doctor. Eventually, you go to a doctor. Doctor says, "Well, we might as well get a scan done and see what's going on." And you think, okay, so you get the scan done, you get an MRI scan done, and afterwards, the doctor comes back to you with results and says, "Oh, look, there's a couple of things going on. You have a spondylosis, mild to severe spondylosis," and he shows you a scan, and I'll show you one a little bit further down. And you look at it, and you think, "Whoa, this is how a normal spine is supposed to look like, and this is what my spine look like." You see that there's flattening. You see a little bit of deformations. Maybe one of the discs is even sticking out, bulging out a little bit. Now, seeing that and hearing the diagnosis spondylosis can be very scary. Now, how bad is it really? A little bit of a background story. So, to understand the word spondylosis, it clears a lot of things up. So, spondy is actually a word comes from Latin. Spondylosis that consists of the word spondy and losis, and basically it just means pain on the spine. So by spondy, we mean one of the vertebrae, one of the different shackles that form the spine together. And a spondylosis just means pain of the spine. So by that way of thinking, everybody with low back pain could be diagnosed with spondylosis. There's multiple things that you can see on a scan that could give you the diagnosis spondylosis, but the way it's being used is for practitioners to understand what is going on without having to look at the scans or do your own imaging. So if I get a referral from a doctor, from a specialist, and they say severe, moderate spondylosis, I have sort of an idea of what's going on. But, and here's the important part, that doesn't mean that your current pain or discomfort is caused by this particular problem. Now this is a bit of a funny video. I'll put the link in the description, but it pretty much highlights how dangerous it can be for doctors to give you labels or to diagnose you with certain things. I'll run it for a second for you to watch. Let's see if we can get some sound on this. I can't since the microphone is connected, but this is a funny watch, so give that a go. So let's take a look at some of this scary stuff. So here we have a spine, and you can see that this would be a normal disc, and everything below it could be considered an issue. So you've got a couple of things here. Degenerative disc, which is basically a hydrated disc or a flattened disc. Here we can see a little bit of a bulge out of it, also known as a bulging disc. We have here a herniation, so actually damage, and now some of the insides are coming out. A thinning disc, comparable to a degenerative disc. And here we have a more degeneration with some osteophyte forming. You can see that the bones are deforming a little bit. Okay, now, more importantly, so before I said, you go to a doctor gets the scan done, you get the results, and then what is seen on the scan gets connected to your problem. Now, we used to think that way, but there's some very interesting research that has been done currently, and what they've done is they've put a lot of people without any symptoms, without any pain, through an MRI to see how many people without any problems still show degenerative changes like these ones over here. And let's go ahead and look along at the 60 years of age and older. We find that 88% of all people has disc degeneration. 86% has signal loss. 67% disc loss. Bulges, 69%. Protrusions, damaging of the annulus, which can be connected to a herniation. Degeneration of the facet joints, or one of the joints in the back of the spine. Spondylolisthesis. So this is actually a problem a little bit further than the spondylosis, where you can get some malpositioning of the spine. If that's severe, then you can get an issue where these are not properly positioned on top of each other anymore. Now, why is this important? Look at those percentages. And then keep in mind, so even here at 30 years old, 50% of people have disc degeneration. Disc bulges, 40%. That's people without any pain. So what this means for you is that even if you've been dealing with back pain and you go to a doctor and you get a scan done, what you see of this in the scan is something you could have had for multiple years, but it never bothered you. That also means that what you're currently feeling doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's visible on the scan is responsible for that. In other words, do not let your scan define you. And don't let scary words like, in this case, spondylosis, scare you. If there is another thing you want me to go over, let me know. If you ever have a diagnosis like this, you're still not really sure about what it is, and you're worried, just send it in to me and we'll go over that diagnosis the next time. I hope this was of value to you. Feel free to share this with other people if you want, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.